Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Crazymonkey here. So we're on the edge of downtown Salt Lake City. So this is the train station for the Front Runner train. It goes from Ogden to Salt Lake City, and it continues to go further south down to Provo. So the entire route's about 80 miles. Provo is 40 miles south. Ogden is 40 miles north. So the entire train route, there's about 10 stops, about 80 miles of track, and Salt Lake City's in the middle, obviously. And then, so we're on the edge of Salt Lake City. These are brand new, I think they're condos and apartments, but they were just built in the last, probably about last 2 years, because when we moved here, these were like under construction, and now it looks like they're finishing them up. But you can see they're still building them. It looks like they're just getting finished. I have no idea what these cost, but I do know that these are actually nicer ones. These are actually like probably luxury ones because they actually look really nice. But the I know the cheapy ones, like the 1-bedroom units are like 150, 2-bedroom units are upwards 200, 300,000. So I imagine these ones are more expensive than that. Plus it's on the edge of downtown, so that's going to make the price higher. So the traffic should be light today since it's Saturday, so I'm hoping there'll be very little traffic. So I'm going to try to keep it on the entire time because it's easier that way, so I don't have to edit it. And I don't want to make like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. It would be easier just to do a 1 15-minute clip. Just get it all in 1 15-minute clip. So downtown Salt Lake City is pretty small. It's really only like 4 blocks by 4 blocks. So it only takes like 15 minutes to go from one side to the other. And these are the light rail lines. So there is several light rail lines throughout the city. One goes to the airport, which is about 2 miles west of here. One goes to the university, which is straight in front of us, about 2 miles towards those mountains. That's the university. Another light rail line goes there, and then they got a few lines that go south. So you can see downtown off in the distance. And then these are more of those condo buildings they're building, which I explained in the blog before, that the future it's going to be all buildings like this. And cities, whether they're Anchorage, here in Salt Lake, Provo, Ogden, basically any city in America, this is how most people are going to wind up living in the future. They're going to live in 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom condo units just like this. And then they're going to cost like $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. And then you work 70 hours a week in a yuppie white-collar job and massive debt slavery for your entire life. That's basically their system. So you can see a pretty view of the city from here. So traffic's not too bad because it's Saturday. A lot of these skyscrapers actually have been just built in the last like 10 years. Yeah, we've gone about 5 minutes, so I want to make this a 15-minute clip. It won't get pretty for another few minutes because this is just parking lot area. But once we get into the city, there's actually quite a few beautiful buildings in the downtown area. But like I was saying with those, see, those are apartments from probably like 100 years ago. And you can see how nice they are, the brick building, how beautiful it is. But then you look at the newer stuff, it's not as nice. But that's the thing, they're gonna, like in the future, you know, like in the past, like say in the 1950s, probably 70% of the population, I'm guessing, lived in single family houses. In the future, you're probably gonna have like 70, 80, 90% of the population live in like 5-story, 10-story apartment buildings, condo buildings. And they're mostly 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom units in these condo buildings. And they're mostly fairly small. Like most of the units are like anywhere from 500 square feet for studio. And then the 1-bedroom, 2-bedrooms can be upwards 800, 1,000 square feet. And then they charge, depending on the city, here in Salt Lake, maybe 300,000 for the bigger units. 2-bedroom units might be 300,000. And you go to other big cities like San Francisco, LA, New York, Seattle, it's like $1 million for the 1,000 square foot 2-bedroom units. Those are like $1 million. And that's how most people will live. And then you work 70 hours a week in a high stress, yuppie, white collar job. And then you're 50,000 in student loan debt for your college degree. The whole system's a total con game. We'll go this way, I think it'll be less people. Let's see how many minutes we've gone. Looks like 7.5, so we still got 8 minutes. So that's a museum over there. There's actually quite a few museums in Salt Lake, downtown Salt Lake, but most of them are fairly small. Here's another, I believe that's an art museum up ahead, but it's fairly small. It's just on the corner. Not the entire building, most of that's a convention center, but the corner is an art museum. So like all these buildings here, I believe all of these buildings have been built recently, like in the last 5-10 years. Because there's actually a really fancy shopping mall in there. It's an outdoor shopping mall, it's really nice. And I believe this has all just been built like 5-10 years ago. I remember actually seeing a picture of Salt Lake City. I think it was like in the mid-90s or late 90s, and there was like virtually no skyscrapers, virtually no big buildings at all. But now you can see they built quite a few, and they're building more. They're going to build like 5 more in the next few years. Like that building over there, that's brand new. That other building, that one, that's brand new. Both of those tall buildings off in the distance are both brand new. I'm pretty sure this Key Bank is brand new as well. So I'll show you the temple. This is on the north end of downtown. And then if you keep going north, it gets into really fancy houses. Like there's lots of mansions, lots of beautiful houses if you keep going north. And then the Capitol is further north. You might be able to see the top of it right off in the distance. And this is a beautiful building right here. This used to be a hotel, but it's really beautiful. I'll show you the front in just a few minutes. So it's like late November right now, but if you came here in the summertime, it's beautiful with all the flowers. Now this is the main downtown street. So here, this used to be the hotel, but now I believe it's like offices or something. But it used to be like a fancy 5-star hotel. It used to be. Wow, it's already 12 minutes. We'll go this way because I want to show you a few more beautiful buildings. And then I'll turn it off and then I'll do another vlog for like going through the downtown area. That'll be like another 5-10 minute vlog. But I want to go this way because there's a really beautiful building up ahead. So this is still part of that mall that they built like 5-10 years ago. Or it might be more recent than that. I'm not really sure. So this is on the northern edge of downtown. Obviously that's the temple, the Mormon temple that I showed you earlier a few minutes ago. And then there's a lot of apartment buildings and condos in this area. And then if you just go further north, there's a lot of mansions, beautiful houses. And then the Capitol is like half a mile north. So here's the buildings that I was going to talk about that are really pretty. There's one of them right in front. A beautiful building, probably built like 100 years ago, I imagine. And then here's another really beautiful building. Looks like it's a jewelry store now. I'm not sure what it used to be, but both of these buildings are really cool. So that's one of the cool things about Salt Lake is there's like old buildings. There's like beautiful old buildings. The thing about Anchorage, Alaska, where I used to live, it's like everything was built like it seems in the 60s and 70s. So most all the buildings in Anchorage are ugly. There's like no real beautiful architecture in Anchorage since it was built in that 60s, 70s era. So just everything is just ugly and not nice. So I'm going to turn it off and then I'll turn it back on when we get back to that big commercial street in downtown.